And CR's back, Creator Dancing here. With another late night stream for me. Very, 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 very impromptu. Like, literally, I just, left, 2 streams. I was like, I'm gonna continue a conversation over here. Almost like an after party. Why not? Why not? So I'm not expecting a lot of people to join me this evening tonight because very short notice, and then I know it's late. Well, at least more or less. Out west, it's not as late, but out east, it's past midnight already and all that stuff. So, and I didn't give much notification, and yeah, here I am. Literally, I was just watching a couple streams earlier, literally 30. Some people got some good news, which is good to hear from them. And things are getting squared away for some people, which is really, really awesome to hear. I think I know who's the first person. Do I know who the first person is? Will the first person write something down? Eventually in time. Yeah, I'll write something. Oh. Well, that's not who I expected to see right away. I'm like, it's Huga, hi. I definitely wasn't expected to see you first. I figured you'd be in bed. And my followers went, where'd you guys come from? Here I am. Oh, everyone out east is probably sleeping. It's past midnight out east. It's like, everything's still just burning the midnight oil. Because it's after midnight out east. Like, what are you looking at? Who goes yes, I'm first for once. Hi, Iron Fire Horse. How are you both doing? Yeah. Good times. So, yeah. I managed to catch a couple streams earlier today. Well, there was one I was going to be attending, but because there was plenty of notification for it. I was late to it because I had to join their stream initially. Just because there was certain little things I wanted to hear first. So. And to show some support, I was there while it was live. For the most part. Then I stream hopped over to another stream. We were talking about gardening stuff. So much gardening stuff. I was really getting down with it. I'm like, what? The stream's ending soon? You're ending it soon? I'm like, oh, I just got into it. It's early yet, as someone would say. Here, see, look at that. Look at that. See? Iron Fire Horse even said it. I was about to crash. Her choice of CR words right there, straight up. Yeah. Yeah, so let me make sure my device is actually charging here. Yeah, it is charging. Yeah. I was down to 30-some%. I'm back up to this 57 right now, so I'm halfway. A little bit more than halfway over the top. I'm just sitting in a lawn chair right now, and maybe I'll have a drink here. Not alcoholic. It's not. I mean, if you guys want, I can make it I can emphasize some slurping sounds. Since you can't see it. Hey, Grace. How are you doing? I appreciate you dropping by, Grace. So, yes. So, what have I been up to? You're probably like, CR, you haven't been live for a while. I'm like, yeah. I was going to go live the other day, but I decided not to. But here I am now. On a Friday night, again. I appreciate everyone that dropped by that last video I posted earlier today, which would have been the last video at the time of this recording and all that stuff. I haven't actually watched it yet. See me. I haven't watched it yet. So yeah. Iron Forest, yeah. No craft beer for me. Craft. Just in case you didn't hear me clearly. I said craft. Oh my. Oh yes, yes, yes. So one of these, I am planning to go somewhere. Well, next week, the beginning of next week, more or less. It's nothing special, but I will be away ish. So if you don't see me or I don't reply back to you or I miss your live streams or something like that, well, there's a reason, alright? I mean, I might even go live. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes down. I'll have to see what really goes down. Oh, okay. Noted, noted, noted. So, how are you folks doing? Maybe I should just say ladies. Because that's how I see is the ladies in here. I didn't realize Friday was ladies' night. Wait, isn't that why they say TGIF? I've heard that before. No, not quite an adventure island for us. It's more like I'm not gonna be at home for a couple days. Kind of adventure, something. Something along the lines of that. Multiple days and nights. So, like, I'm actually bringing a change of clothes, which next week it's supposed to be warm, like 80 Fahrenheit plus, 28.7 Celsius plus. So, yeah, I'm bringing a change of clothes. But most likely, one of those days I'm out, I'll have to take a shower at their place just because it's gonna be, well, warm enough. I might start sweating a lot more than I think. Actually, I probably know I will. I'm still planning it right now. I mean, I've already packed like shorts and like a t-shirt, and then some socks. But I don't know if I'm gonna bring in something else or whatever. We'll see. We'll see how much I got in my bag and actually what I want to bring. Like I'll probably bring like a battery bag and the standard things that I go with at times, right? Charging cable, stuff like that, right? So, I mean, I am bringing instant coffee, just in case. Yeah. Yeah, you actually got one of those that he suggested. Yeah, you gotta show me, Hugo. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing out of Fire Horse about that kind of stuff. I was just like, yeah, it's more out east this time around. I'm not saying it's not out here out west, but it's not as big, I guess, or whatever this time around. So, really, really, CB, you just want laters without butane? That's like having the matches without the striking pad, or your ferrocerium rod without the striker. You're kind of missing half the thing there. Just saying. Yep. Duh. Yeah. So yeah. I just realized I have a lot of banks out here. Dang. I actually had to go through it again. I didn't even realize. How much time am I in? Okay, about 10 minutes in. I guess I'm at 61%. Yeah. I just realized that I have to go through some of these bags. I was actually watching some stuff earlier today. Now, earlier today, unfortunately, one of the channels I follow, they scheduled a live stream this morning, right? Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right? Never, I don't know. It never panned out. They never did show up, the host. I mean, I've seen that before, and things happen, right? So I'm good with that. But on the bright side, I got up early to go water the garden because I was looking forward to it. And then, after a bit, I'm like, okay, well, I was here anyways, just because I was the only one in the side chat, but I was just like, so hopefully I'll be able to see them when they go live the first time again, sometime later. I don't know. It's all good. Stuff like that happens, right? I've seen that happen, so eventually I'll catch them live. I went to go talk to a fellow gardener to. They've been working on their landscaping of sorts, right? And I was just like, it's been looking so cool. Because I've seen the transformation, how it's been converted and all that stuff. I was like, dang. It makes, every time I go over there, it always makes me want to go into like making something or whatever. Hold on one sec. Give me 1 sec, please, everyone. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I was just like, it makes me want to make something. Or something along the lines of that. Let's see here. Where am I at? You bought a torch bugger for... Ah, that sucks, Iron Fireworks. Damn, that sucks, eh? Yeah. I got you. Thank you. I know what you mean, but you're talking about a zapper or one of those things. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. I don't know. Maybe I'm not reading between the lines. But that's what I'm assuming you're talking about. Yeah? Nice. Yeah, you did that, CB? Nice. Yes. And perhaps if you stick long enough on the stream, maybe I'll show a sneak peek. Maybe I'll show a sneak peek. Now, very few, because I know I've shown at least one person. Very few people I've seen. Oh, look who it is! It's Billy. What's up, man? From the Wickershire Project. Off grid. I should actually say it all. Oh, and in the beginning. Virtual fist bump. How you doing, man? So yeah, if you stick long enough for this stream, maybe I will show a sneak peek. The bonus feature on a disc or whatever, on a movie or whatever, right? But you'll have to wait, guys. I'm still charging my phone, so you'll have to wait for a little bit. No rain here. And it's supposed to be sunny for like next 6 or 7 days straight. So I still got some, but we'll see if I can get through those days with what I have right now. Oh, really? Really, Billy? Yeah, I guess, yeah. I guess that's why you got something like that, the generator and such, right? Just in case you gotta dip into resources or gear like that. I enjoyed that entire video I saw from you, Billy, that I just saw yesterday, but I think it was a day or two ago. Or maybe it was actually really recent. Alright, but yeah. Water is important, right? Water is important. especially in the heat. Like, it looks like this last week of August for me is going to be on the warmer, sunnier side compared to this last 2 weeks here. It's been kind of seasonal, more or less 70 Fahrenheit ish. I know. 50 Fahrenheit ish range for the lows and stuff like that. 22, 23 Celsius, 12 Celsius overnight. And you guys are typing really, really fast. Is she here? Hey, Megan, how are you doing? I haven't seen you. Fabulous to see you. Hey, look. Is that an orange heart? That looks orange. I know that's a red one. Your house is cool down? Iron Fire Force is like, rain? What's that? Maybe we need to do a rain dance for you. Or at least try it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm getting too, Billy. 6 or 7 days of straight sun. I mean, today was kind of like a mix of sun and cloud, but I think tomorrow and this coming up week will probably be mostly sunny, if not mainly sunny. If not that, it'll be clear. So, because one of the things I did this morning, anticipation of watching this live stream that didn't pan out for someone that I was supposed to watch this morning, as in Friday morning. I was just like, I come outside, so I decided to mulch my tomato plants a little bit more. Just because the last couple of weeks have been kind of seasonal. So, and with some moisture and I've done live streams where I've shown rain that randomly comes at night, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, well, if it's supposed to be sunny for 6 days straight and the temperature's supposed to be increased, maybe the mulch would help. Maybe, right? So I had to refresh it, because it was starting to, decompose and degrade down, right? Because obviously that stuff breaks down in time. That's the point, right? But feed the soil to feed the microbes, to feed the plants, to feed the roots and all that stuff, right? So I'm like, I'll add in some fresh mulch. Hopefully it'll work for the rest of the season now, to a certain degree. You guys are typing a lot because I keep seeing my chat just go so faster. Well, CB, you could always use that for non-potable water too, right? Yeah, exactly, right. Billy, you're gonna get, solar lights and all that stuff, we'll get plenty of power in, but that also means that you have to water more frequently because you're not getting the rains at night, daytime, whatever, right? The showers and all that stuff. You guys are really typing a lot faster than I think. Dang, you guys are typing so fast. Can you guys slow down? Or else I'm going to have to put it on slow-mo. I mean, I'm kidding. Keep typing fast. I'm kidding. Type. Really? Yeah. Yeah, let's see. What are you guys saying? Yeah. Yeah, Billy. That's what I was referring to. Oh my gosh, you guys type fast. You guys type so fast. Here, I might as well just say it. I might as well say it. Wait for it. Boom! Right there. I might as well say it right there. What, you want roasted pumpkin soup, Megan? Okay, Billy. Okay, Billy, you can start a new gang, a new group. I was gonna use an RG word, but you could start a new group. You can start that collaboration. I'll put a CR word in there. Hey, he started it. Dang, I wish I lived closer. to use CB. I'll be like, can I have a pie? Can I borrow a pie? I'll help you pick it. Right? I'll watch the oven. I'll help you. I was thinking of like, hey, no, never mind, never mind. No, I didn't, Billy. What, you mean jam? Wow. You mean, dang. Hey, wait a second. I just noticed. As soon as Billy came in, you guys all start to talk about food. Zucchini, jam, fruit. Were you guys planning that the whole time? Secretly, they're like in the back chatting. It's like, we gotta talk about food. See our stream. I trusted you. Take care, Iron Fighters. Ooh, Megan, that's nice. Billy. Billy. Don't wink at me. It's kind of scary if you wink at me. Remember, this is a late night stream. It's rated PG-13. Or for here, actually, in Canada, it'd be like 14 plus. Well, he did say it. He did say it. I guess he did say it. I guess I can't say it. He didn't lie. He did say he was for one out there, right? Oh, good times. Let me just take off my glasses and wipe the sweat of like, I'm trying to like do this like almost like if it was a real life meme. It's like, yeah, good times. Well, hey, Billy, this is where you jump in and say something here. All right, right here. I'm waiting for him to say something right here. Half an acre is stupid. Well, I mean, for what it is, right? I mean, honestly, it depends what you're putting in there, but, half an acre of, like, full tomatoes is quite a bit, right? You'd be harvesting, like, day, night, right now. You're, like gardening at, like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I know people don't do that, apparently. It is a thing, gardening at night. And it's usually cooler, and sometimes people are, like, looking out for, like, certain bugs or whatever, right? Yeah, see? I was waiting for that. Really, Megan? That's nice. Nice. Yeah. I've been picking some tomatoes, too. I've talked to someone else. I'll have to talk to Naruto, but it seems like, at least around here, the tomatoes aren't as plentiful this year. I mean, I've had other years where it seems like it's been more plentiful. But we'll see. There's still some time. And this season was slightly different. We got a little bit more moisture. It wasn't as warm or hot, generally speaking. I'm not saying it wasn't at all, but generally speaking. So, I mean, we got more of the rain, the moisture. I mean, yeah, it helps for other things, but So I guess that's the balance, I guess, right? Of the water and the sunshine, right? I mean, yeah, I've been saying it for a while. Like, I was like very blessed with like rain, well, both rain and sunshine at times, but sometimes there wasn't a lot of heat, so to speak, right? Or consistent amounts of sunshine. But looks like this month, this last half of the month, I'll get some more of that. You know, I swear I probably could leave the chat. You guys would just keep talking about food for like the next like 45 minutes. I'll just like walk away from the screen. You guys would be like still chatting. I come back and be like, yeah, they're still chatting about the food. It's like endless like zucchini, tomato, zucchini, tomato. Look how big my zucchini is. I get so many tomatoes. Where are you guys growing? It would go on and on and on and on, just like gardening can. Oh yeah, nice, Megan. It's like, what's that? Hey Megan, what's that? Oh, I don't know. What's that? I think it's that. What's that? Oh, that's a tomato. Oh, okay. It'd be like that, right? Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, the tomatoes for me weren't as plentiful. Like, I'll still get the yield out of it or whatever, right? I mean, it's not as good as this one year that I actually overloaded the bed quite a bit with tomatoes, like actual viable fruit, right? This year, not so much. So, I'll always have to remember, like, yeah, some years, sometimes for growing will be great, other years just good, right? Or fine, right? Or adequate, versus some years where it's like, that seems like endless, endless bounty. It just keeps going. It just keeps providing on and on and on, just like how you guys are typing on and on and on about food, like eating. Yeah. Anyways, let me have a sip here. So yeah. Let's see where am I at. Where am I at? Okay. Well, I guess my battery just happens to be at 69%. Just happens to be at that percentage. I don't know why. I don't know why. It just like happens to be there. Like I can just take a screenshot. He's really trying here. Like look at this. He's just like look at this. Look at that. He's just gotta put that up. I'll be like, and I gotta put it up on the screen, highlight it or emphasize it for some reason too. We'll just leave that on the screen, everyone. Let's just leave that on the screen, everyone, and be like, all that stuff. Let's just leave that on the screen and emphasize that. It's like on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I'll just leave that right there for some reason. Why is Sierra leaving that on screen? I don't know, because yeah. Fabulous. Oh, I see who's the boss there, hey? I see who's the boss there. Oh, I see. I see who's the boss. They know who's the boss. They are. I'm the boss. Yay. So, yeah. Hold on one sec. So yeah, how's that gardening stuff going for you guys, you folks? Like I said, I mean, I've had better years, but I mean, it's not the worst, anyways, right? So, and I've at least gotten something. I've been thinking of. I don't know if I'll release this video because it's kind of like not very exciting. It's actually like it's. I don't want to spoil it if I do, but basically I'm just like harvesting something. I don't know if I want to post it, but because I actually don't do much talking in it. I just decided to record what I was doing, but we'll see. Maybe. Yeah, because I'm the trimmings from it like right beside me. Nice and dry right now. I'm trying to chop and drop the stuff back in later or add it back into the ground, right? Get back to the soil where it was and stuff like that. Like literally I got a whole paper bag of it. Surprisingly it's got some weight to it for being dry. I mean, like, I'm not saying it weighs a lot, but most of the water's gone obviously, but it's been drying out. I'm actually thinking of like chopping it a little bit more, increase the surface area so it can actually like break down quicker in time. Stuff like that. I might do it over the fall, but I have to wait for the space to be emptied out before I chop and drop back in. Right now. Or maybe I can use it as mulch. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can actually use it as a. Maybe. Like I said, it's like sitting right beside me. Yeah. I mean, it's not crumbling in my hand, but it is more dry. Yeah. Almost sounds like, like a dry leaf, for example, right? Has that consistency in it right now. I'm still waiting for some other things. I'm still waiting for one thing, actually. And maybe I will show it. Hold on one sec. Sorry. I had to check on something real quick. Yeah. Like I said, I had to check on something real quick. So, yeah, that's what I'm like. Like I said, maybe I will show you guys. Hold on. I guess I have 71%. Why not? Why not? It's kind of dark out. I have no idea how much it's chilly. I do have my stream light with me, so perhaps I will show you guys something. It's kind of dark. Obviously, it's dark outside. Like I look up and I'm like, I can see stars. It's clear out tonight. It's definitely clear out tonight. I will show you guys something. Well, if you pay attention to your screen right here. Yeah. Oh, I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is right there. Hey. I wonder. Amongst some other things I have out here. Okay, I brought my stream light out. Ooh. Alright. I guess I'll randomly do some nighttime gardening. At least it's cooler out, right? Why do weeding or whatever midday, right? In the heat of the sun. I know some people are like that. They get up earlier or whatever. Outside the heat of the day and stuff like that. So it's all good. Well, Billy, I thought you would know this. I thought you guys were gardeners. I thought you guys were gardeners. I thought I didn't have to explain it. I thought it was like self-explanatory. It's like, what is that? Yeah, you know what that is. I already showed it in our video. Ooh, I already showed it in our video. I'm gonna show you something. Sorry, I keep hearing things randomly. I'm just making sure. Because remember, it is dark out. Just making sure. I got my stream light, so it should be okay. Oh my gosh. She's here. Oh my gosh. Hello. Hi, how are you? I was wondering when I would see you again. It's nice to see you again. Oh my gosh. I was wondering where... Oh, you know who it is. How are you? I haven't seen you for a while. Okay, I think the last time I saw you was in the live stream that I was doing. At night too, which is funny. See, this is why at times I do these random live streams at different times, because it gives a chance for some of you to drop by randomly, like literally randomly, because I wasn't expecting certain people. Then I'm like, then they just their name or channel name shows up on my screen. I'm like, oh my god, they're here. Oh my god, they're here. I can't believe it. Really? Yeah. You know you can always message me. And I have their social media accounts available for messaging. If absolutely necessary. So, yeah, of course, she's like, oh my god, I want them all. You're just winging it, right? Just winging it. Yeah, so, wow. Wow, this is a special night. Now I feel like this was all worth randomly, like, going live randomly. I wasn't even, like, earlier I was watching some live streams, right, and it just felt like so short. I'm like, I need my live stream fix, or whatever, right? I was just like, I get to do it. Right? And why not? And because of that, I randomly see you folks and randomly get to see someone else I haven't seen for a while. So, that's so awesome. Really? That afternoon one? It must have been an afternoon one. Because the last couple of live streams for me have been afternoon. Although I have done late night streams at this time. Night. But, no, I appreciate that. Of course I remember. Actually, I remember a lot of things. Somehow I remember... I don't know why. So, yeah. Where'd that come from? Right, to feel old. Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from, TQ4? Where'd that come from? I can't believe you just said that. By the way, how's the family doing? How are they doing, by the way? I remember, I haven't heard from you for a while. I'm trying to remember the last time I talked to you. Or miss it. Well, I know it's been a while. But it's all good. You're here now. Well, that explains why you wrote, ready to feel old? Well, that explains a lot right there. That definitely explains a lot right there. Hey. Like everyone probably in my chat's like, oh, now I feel old, CR. I'm like, yeah, I think like, I feel it now. I don't feel young and hard anymore. I'm growing up like a sunflower. Oh yeah, yeah, cool. Wow, dang, has it been that long? I never realized it was that long. Dang. Well, I guess it has been that long, eh? 12 years. Yeah, it's been a while. Dang, I didn't think it was that long. Time goes by fast. Especially since I like uploading content still. Right. Yeah, because if you go into my belt page, you'll see that I've been posting content for a while. Like I'm actually working on like fall videos and winter videos. I know. I'm actually into that. I'm working into that, getting into that right now. Like, also, if you haven't catch today's video, Friday's video, alright, it's on the channel, right? I would appreciate it, and I would also appreciate the last one, and maybe the one before 2 weeks ago, alright? Just because, alright. But yeah, next Friday's video, yeah, may sprout your interest. I'm pretty sure I have it scheduled for next Friday now. It will be a partial garden update video. Partial. Like literally I swung it together to like this week. I mean, I have our content on the channel right now that's scheduled, right? Like I have scheduled videos for all next month. And for most of October right now, right? I will say I still have to squeeze in some time for the sunflower videos. Somehow I'm gonna squeeze that in there. I don't know where. Yeah, I might have to wait until October. And so there's still some I want to show, so it might be one of those, look what I grew, the sunflowers of the year. Like that kind of thing, right? Yeah. It's all gone. Right? So yeah. What's it called? What was that say? Oh, that's my train of thought there. Whatever. So yes, let's show it again. Why not? Why not? Just because people are dropping by now. Once again. See? Look. Eventually. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there's a sneak peek right there. It's already starting. It's already starting to, wow, it's starting to the bottom of the crown. I'll still have to wait. It won't be that wide. It'll probably be a couple inches wide. I mean, the plant's not that big. It's only like, a couple feet off the ground. It's very skinny, it's stalk. What's up, Mike? How you doing, Mike? Virtual fist bump to you. How you doing, Mike? Appreciate you dropping by on this Friday night with me. But yeah, some of my air plants are all obviously spent. I've shown them earlier in the year. It's actually what you just saw, like right behind it, I have an air plant behind it. Like I got some peonies behind it. You can't see the flowers because they're spent. They've been spent since they've been, spent for the last seems like a month, 4 weeks or so. Because usually they sprout for me, they bloom for me in July. So, and it's like, what, the 22nd of August, so yeah, it's been a while. But at least I'll get some other flowers growing in the spot. Or blooming, eventually. We'll see. And that's why there's a delay on one of the videos. Because I'm still waiting for it, to a certain degree. And I want to show more of it. I'm not saying I don't have any. Because there is. There is. And if I decide not to sneeze, you know? As soon as I want to talk now, I want to sneeze. If you message me or whenever, or I PM you or whatever, perhaps I'll share a sneak peek. Perhaps I'll share a sneak peek. Or if I'm chatting, maybe I'll show a live sneak peek. And maybe if you stay long enough, maybe perhaps I will show one. Perhaps. Perhaps. We'll see. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're just burning the midnight oil. Hey, Mike. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Just checking out a few things while I'm at it. Couple plants I have out here. Just seeing how it is. I got some other things. Swinging around and stuff like that. Yeah, because, like I said, we're entering in the last week of August, so September is coming around the corner for me. I mean, and eventually autumn will fall into place in time. And all that sort of stuff. We'll see. I mean, I got some other things wrong. Like kind of like squash type of things, you know, that kind of stuff. Isn't so great this year, unfortunately. I mean, there's still some time, but I don't know. They're not that big. Not compared to some other years where I've grown them like. So, stuff like that, I'm like, well, at least something's growing. At least something's growing out here. Can't wait. And maybe, and just maybe we'll see. If I get more viewers, maybe I'll show a sneak peek of something else. Some of you might not see for a bit. And I gotta remember I actually have to shoot that video too. So, because I want to. Anyways. I've shown some sneak peeks to some other people, but I haven't shown anyone, like, the whole thing. And remember, if I have shown you a picture, remember, there's more than one. It's like, there's more than one? Yes, there's more than one plant. I didn't just grow one, or two, or three. Oh, you know, but you'll have to wait. And maybe I'll show a sneak peek tonight on this stream. Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, I know, I remember that. It's been that long. I've seen Robert come by the way. I have seen him. It's been a while. I gotta remember which comment that was from. It's been a while. I'm trying to remember the video. I'm pretty sure it was a video, not a live stream. It was, well, either one or the other. But yeah. So, I'm trying to remember my schedule right now because I can't wake it up right now, but right now, like I said, I do have a gardening type of video for next Friday. I'm pretty sure I'm going to set that into stone. Not only because I'm saying it, but because I need to actually show it right away anyways, right? Like I said, September, I already have a full schedule for videos for September right now, and I'm like, So, I don't know when I'm going to show some of this harvesting things. I might actually have to wait until October for it. We'll see. Maybe there might be an extra bonus video for one of the weeks next month. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. I do know I do have some short form content lined up though. Yes, I don't know if I actually have one for Wednesday for this coming up week. one. I do know I have some for September and October. Like, literally, I just made another one the other day. And I gotta remember, since I actually haven't uploaded a new video to schedule it later, right? In the last couple of weeks. So I've let my buffer zone of videos in advance is like shrinking back down again. I'm like, yeah, I need to try to put something back in there. I'm just trying to figure out the schedule. Not figure out the schedule, but when I'm gonna put it in. like, literally, I keep saying this all the time. There is one video, you'll see in the description, and it'll say, this video was recorded back in December of 2024, because it was. When you see that, you'll be like, how long it's been? Because originally I was supposed to schedule it back earlier in the year, February. Then it changed to April. Then it changed to June. Then it changed to August. Then it changed to September. Now it says like November for scheduled time. It's been so long. Like, I actually showed some people like the before picture, right? Image, right? Everyone will have to wait for the after, right? But so keep that in mind when you see that. It's just like, how come it looks different? Because it was a long time ago, like almost a year ago, almost. Yeah, so just something I've been doing. And I got some other things. I'm working into the schedule here. Like, literally right now, at the time of this live stream, right, I need like 6 more videos to finish off the calendar year. Yeah, about 6 more videos to finish off the calendar year. And there's a couple of freebies or give me's in there. It won't be so difficult, but that's why I'm just like, I might actually, I don't know. There's that one video I just said. I feel like I might actually have to wait for the whole year. I might actually have to like delay it into like the new year. I know. I can't believe I'm always speaking like that, but I'm like, well, it can wait a little bit longer again. All right. I gotta show something else again. I gotta show the sunflower first or whatever, right? So I'm working it in. I'll have to see. But the choice. All right. I have to make the choice on it. I gotta remember. I mean, there's this one video I could swap out or whatever for the timing. I'll just go from there. Because right now, like, next month, September, I'm pretty sure I've almost set, the videos are set in stone. They're not just penciled in anymore. Like, I've rearranged the schedule for, like, well, not only this month, but September and October right now. I'm like, thinking to myself, I'm like, when can I post that? When's ideally I can post that? When do I want to post that? Because I've been batch recording a lot of these videos, so. Like, even today's video, if you haven't checked that out, go check that out after the stream or whatever, or add it to your watch later or watch it after the stream. But that video, today's video, I actually shot that video back in June. And you're probably like, why did it take you so long to post it? Because I scheduled it. I had other videos I had to show first on the channel. Stuff like that I wanted to show first, right? I mean, even next month, like, there's specifically 3 videos I have for next month, right? Where, like, I shot them, like, in advance, right? But specifically, I'm purposely having them public for next month. When you see them, you'll totally understand why I went towards that direction of doing it. As much as I can, because I think it was a better way of approaching it. So, I mean, I've talked to some other people. They've heard me say this before, but some of the ideas I've been openly discussing about with some people, right? Like in backstages or like through DMs or PMs or like and stuff like that. and they know about these other video things I have in the works, then I am like thinking, because I'm already thinking, because this year and last year, right, there was always this kind of like, I gotta have videos to make it into the springtime, right? Even this year, I'm like, I needed videos to make it to the springtime, right? Because once the springtime comes around, then I can have these art gardening type of videos easily, right? I can't show it if it's in the middle of the winter, right? I can't really show that yet, right? And I have to wait for that because it's a real time thing. I have to wait for it to actually exist, right? I can't, you know, and stuff like that. Then yeah, I could start things inside or whatever, but I had to wait for some of that stuff, right? So I've been thinking, I'm like, okay, I could maintain that kind of scheduling or whatever in terms of videos like that, but I'm like, I gotta actually have some videos to fill in some of the gaps during the weeks, and during the certain months where content may be not that it wouldn't exist, but where I can actually have like that buffer zone of videos, right? That way I can actually get into like have enough time to get to April or May and start showing something right relatively quickly. So, because I've been thinking like, for me here in Canada, it's like 4 seasons, right? I'm like, okay, I gotta time this in, right? Especially some of the real world stuff like the gardening stuff, right? I can't speed that up, right? I can't speed it up. I can't speed up the germination. I can't speed up the blooms, right? You have to wait till I'm ready to show them. And I have to time it, right? Next week's video is probably gonna be like one. It's funny. Next week's video will be like a video I shot this month, while every other video I have in the list right now, which is like what, quite a bit, anyways, 12, 11, whatever videos, right? Those were shot before this month, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, right? It's probably like in October or whatever. I'll probably be shooting some sort of content for like winter time, or something in the works. Because I have some ideas on some projects and stuff like that, like DIY projects and stuff like that. But I need the time to do it. It's a DIY do it yourself kind of thing, right? And I want to bring you guys along so that I can share it with you guys and do all that stuff, right? And just because I'm in right here, I'll show you guys something. Hey, look at this. Look. I wrote it for you guys too. See? I'm on a shoestring budget here. I gotta use like practical effects. Yeah, practical effects. Practical effects. I gotta use practical effects here every so often. I squander my time. Yeah. I've been thinking about that too, Billy. Like, I'm like, dang. It's lucky this year that like the rainwater is kind of more plentiful. But what happens if next year is like kind of like the other year that I had in 2021 with the heat dome here in Canada? And that like covered like 4 time zones, 5 provinces, right? That lasted like a significant amount of time. I'm almost thinking it was like over 90 Fahrenheit, more or less. Okay, 86 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius for like, it seemed like forever. It wasn't forever, but it seemed like, 6, 7, 9 days of injury. I could just imagine how much rainwater I had. Well, I knew how much I had to put out there, but, if it doesn't rain, right? I mean, that's why the mulch has been helping, but, it still just got to rain somewhat. You're sick of Hamler? Yeah, you know me. Shoestring budget, right? I'm working on something else here. There's one, well, There's a few people that might know, but we've been working on this other shoestring budget type of thing. But I was considering on doing a video on it for next month. However, since I already have videos lined up for next month, all next month, right, without much wiggle room, right, I was just like, well, this budget thing that I was thinking about. Like, once you see it, you'll know, but I'm like, well, maybe I'll just delay it till next September. Not next month, but like 2026. It's just something I've been working on, but I'm like, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe if not, maybe sooner. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because I also have to record it too and script it out and all that stuff too. Because that's definitely content I haven't recorded. I have the stuff lined up for it, but I have to shoot a video for it. You know, let alone make a thumbnail and edit it and all that stuff, right? And I need a video before I upload, and I need to upload it before I tell you guys, right? So yeah. No, well, I don't mind hand wandering. It just, it just depends, right? I mean, I've hand watered the sunflowers before or whatever, right? Although it's more like, it just like, right? I was talking to someone today, because they were watering their plants, right? I was just saying, I just love when like especially in open ground or whatever. It could be in a bed, a garden bed or whatever, right? Or even in a container. But when you water and you hear that, the water like slurping down, like you can actually hear. Obviously, the water's going down and air's coming out. That's what you're hearing. But that sound, it's always so cool. Like you can barely hear it at times, but it's like you can actually hear it like getting pulled into the ground, right? Versus just the water just running off on the surface, right? Like it's like, right? Where the mulch is helping, it's like, right? That, like, as a gardener, you know that sound. You know that sound when you hear it, right? You know that sound, like where the ground's just like, just absorbing that water right into it, right? Right into the ground. It's like, I don't know. I like that sound. I like that sound. And I usually hear it by the sunflowers. For some reason, I don't know. For some reason, I always hear it by the sunflowers. Sometimes I can hear it for other plants I'm watering, but a lot of the time it's for the sunflower. All I hear is like, I'll put like 2 gallons worth, like hand water some in, right? And I just like go around slightly away from the base of the stem, right? And all I hear is like I can actually hear it, like even a foot or two away. I'm like, yeah, I can barely hear it, but it is there, that kind of sound, right? I like that sound. Oh, well, yeah, okay, there, bro, yeah. Oh, whatever, Billy. Yeah, okay. Whoa. Movie. Remember, Billy, this is PG-13, 14A stream. I mean, I'm not restricting anything, but I'm just saying. Just saying. Shh, Billy. Keep your thoughts to yourself. He's like, whatever, CR, whatever. So, yeah. And all jokes aside, but, like, I kind of like that sound anyways, right? Like, honestly, I can hear certain things, like the wind rustling the leaves and all that stuff, right? Obviously, there's smells and sights you can see, right? The colors and all that stuff, right? So, I always enjoy that kind of stuff. Being able to actually hear plants, or at least something along the lines of that, right? And it's not just the wind. You sure, Billy? You sure about that? You sure about that, dude? No. You sure about that? No. But yeah, that's why I'm just like I said, you know what? Hold on. Maybe I will get more. Hold on. Yeah, why not? Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Talk amongst yourselves, as they all say. I'll be right back. Alright, I had to go get it. It is standing beside me. A little more away. Like 3 feet away. No, I did not. What you talking about, Billy? Nice, Billy. Nice. No, I've been like trying out some stuff, just for fun. Some container gardening. I mean, I have a main source of it, but in a bed or like in the ground itself, right? Just container gardening. You know, I could. I was actually talking to someone earlier in our gardener, like today about it. Actually, I've enjoyed me talking to them. And we're not always talking about gardening stuff at times. Like sometimes it's about fabrication or making something or whatever, right? Or constructing something or whatever, building something. But when I do have this gardening chat with them at times, right? Like literally it's like 20 minutes 20 minutes talking about like pruning and mulching. I'm like, I feel like I'm talking to you guys or whatever, like our fellow gardeners, and where you can like our people will be like, can we change the conversations here? Well, then other times like you can just have a conversation about mulch for like half an hour. It's just like the gamers out there that can talk about gaming or certain games or whatever for like an hour or half an hour or whatever, right? It's that same kind of deal, right? Or people that talk about their cars or whatever, or collections or comics or whatever. That kind of, their adventures or whatever, right? That kind of thing, right? So we were just talking about it, and I was just because they were pruning a plant, right? To get more airflow and allocate the energy towards something else, right? The fruits, the flowers, whatever, right? So I was just Billy. I think you misspelled that. You forgot the word. You forgot to enter. You misspelled that, dude. You forgot to. You forgot the Y in Dolly. You're talking about Dolly collection, right? You know, the thing with wheels, right? That's what you're talking about, right, dude? Yeah, yeah. Because I'm talking about gardening, right? Are you? Unless you're still on that movie thing. But yeah, I we were just talking about it, right? They've seen this plant. Well, one of them, anyways, right? And I was just saying to them, I'm like, it's kind of like this backup thing. Well, I shouldn't say backup thing. It's just like an extra thing, right? It's because I can have the extra water to give it, right? Because the thing is, container gardening, especially the smaller the container is, right? You got to water it more often, and as you said in your video, right? And that water's, well, life on it, right? For a plant, right? Gotta keep the water in the ground, right? Or in the soil, or whatever, right? That's what, all right. Is it the microbes die off or whatever, right? They live within the water, right? They interact in with it, right? And all that interaction it does, right? With the microbes, the soil, the roots, and everything above the surface, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. I like how you just wrote, oh yeah, sure, 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 sure. But yeah. But yeah, this container, actually, I'm not checking right now. I haven't actually. I'll have to check the other ones. Put my phone on the ground temporarily. I gotta actually check the collection. That's all. Yeah, I might actually. Yeah, I might have this. There's some water collecting on the. Like, It's a double container, so. There's water on the bottom, so I'll actually have to dump that water. Or, not necessarily dump that water, but I'll gather that water together and I'll apply it to somewhere else, right? On a perennial or something like that, right? I won't dump the water out like on the ground, but it's because it's not that fresh. It's sitting in it. You know what I mean? So I gotta remember that, because and especially as this coming up week, this weekend and such, it's supposed to be warmer. I'm gonna have to give it more water anyways, so yeah, I might do that tomorrow. If not, well, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna do it tonight. I'll just do it in the morning or whatever, during the afternoon or whatever, and kind of empty out that kind of bottom of the container water that's been gathering at the bottom. I haven't changed it. Well, it's not that I haven't changed it out. It's more like I haven't poured it out. Especially since next week it's supposed to be warmer, so I'm gonna be adding more water throughout the container anyways, so I might as well. Anyways. I mean, I'll probably reuse the water like gray water. I'll probably water something else with it, whatever. Or maybe I'll water one of the sunflowers I have or whatever with it. One of the bigger ones that I have are more established and stuff like that. Yeah, Lady Fluffy versus the. Yeah. I mean, it depends what you're trying to grow, right? I mean, like. And obviously something like carrots or potatoes. Yeah. Something a little bit more loose. Just like how I'm laying loose and loosening up to the stream here and keeping it loose. That's what does a gallon pot for pepper sticks, like 1/10 of the amount of water versus, to say, a 15-foot long vine. Yeah. I was thinking someone today, like, because they were watering, right, because it's getting warmer out, right? It's like, yeah, not only is the ground dry, or it could dry out, the leaves are always transferring water out, right, for the most part. Stuff like that. There's always transpiration coming out from the plant, especially from the leaves, especially bigger leaves, especially if there's a lot of foliage, right? So, hence, like, even today, I was talking to someone earlier today, like, while they were pruning, I'm like, oh, yeah, man. I was pruning my tomatoes their date or whatever, just kind of, because there's only, like, it's like the third, well, we're entering into this fourth week, the last week of August, right? So, at best, I get another month out of the gardening season, at least outside, anyways. Without some intervention, like a greenhouse, a cold frame, whatever, anything like that, or covers or anything like that, or a grow tent, or any of that stuff, right? Without any of that kind of intervention like that. So, some of the stuff I'm like, well, even to the point I might, like, start clipping off some of the flower heads, because I'm like, well, put that energy towards the fruiting part of it right now. I mean, there's enough foliage on the canopy hot pie to, keep the photosynthesis part going on the plant, right? Because I'm like, well, like, I need some foliage, I assume, right? Because obviously, with all the photosynthesis part, I'm like, well, it probably needs that. So, I just keep the high end of it, the canopy part. Like, I don't need anything low on the low, anything below the fruit, per se, right? Yeah. But because I opened it up, alright, more light can get through, more sunshine can get through, blah, blah, and all that stuff, right? Airflow, whatever. But it also means that the ground, the soil that was covered by leaves is more exposed, right? Hence, mulch mulching, right? Like I was like getting into this with a friend of mine, right? And I was like explaining that kind of thing, right? Hold on one sec. Give me one sec. So yeah, I was saying to them, I'm like, you know, about the foliage, like always transpires, does transpiration, right? Of water, right? Basically, plant sweat, right? And I was saying, you know, why do people mulch? Is because to retain some soil moisture for the most part, right? I mean, obviously, there's other benefits like recovering the nutrient cycle of things, right? The chop and drop, compost, all that sort of stuff, right? I was just thinking, I was explaining why they were doing that, right? I'm like, so if you do it like this, you can get both benefits of it, where you get the the water retention properties of the mulch, right? But you can open up the airflow a little bit. Hopefully that makes sense, because I was just like, I'm trying to sum it up in a nutshell, but like, if you were there when I was talking about it with someone that, because originally it didn't sound like I knew what I was talking about like I right now, but I'm like, and when you think about it, it makes sense, right? Because it's like just like in the forest, right, out there, right? The leaves fall like during autumn or whatever, cover the ground, keep the moisture in the ground, that kind of thing. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Because clearly I shouldn't have winged that part of this part of the stream, because I'm like thinking about it like, how am I supposed to say this? I swear I'm not using the right words. I'm rambling about it, but yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah, exactly right. The soil retention, the moisture retention of it. Oh wait! I gotta remember. Billy doesn't want to use that word. The water retention properties of it, right? The water retention properties. I use the word water instead. Wait, you didn't think I was paying attention to that video? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 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 exactly, Billy. Yeah. So that's why I'm just like thinking to myself. I'm like, yeah, I think this is the way to go. I mean, I don't cut and drop or prune everything. I'm not talking about tomatoes specifically, but other plants. There's certain things I will do, but for certain reasons, right? It just depends on what I'm expecting or what I want out of it, and the functionality of the plant. It just depends what I'm doing, right? Because because I know some people grow certain plants for certain reasons, right? So sometimes it's not always about the fruiting aspect or the flowering aspects, right? Sometimes there's reasons people grow stuff. All right, like even for me, I'm growing my list on the reasons why I want to grow a sunflower. I keep finding not new reasons. I shouldn't say new reasons because they probably existed since like ever, but more ways to add functionality to it to get more out of it, right? Where you're getting certain aspects of it, right? It's just like a tree, for example. You can do a lot with a tree, you know, while it's growing, you know, even afterwards, right? After it's cut down or whatever, right? And all this stuff, right? Obviously, furniture or whatever is built from wood, right? So, like, if you think about it like that, it starts to make sense, like, yeah, the reasoning for it. Because when I have more reasons to want to grow something like a sunflower, right? Like, even if something happens during parts of the cycle, where I can't get a mature plant at the end, I could still use it for something like chop and drop or something like that. That way, that disappointment or like you know, that kind of as a gardener, it's not so bad. Because I remember this one year where I lost a sunflower when it was like it didn't develop the seeds yet. Like it was flowering, but yeah, let's just say something happened on my part. Yeah. So I'm like, so after that year, I'm just like trying to understand. I'm like, is there are reasons for growing a sunflower besides the seeds themselves, right? Because then, if you don't make it to that stage, you still have something you can use potentially for whatever the reason is. I'm not gonna go into it too deeply, right? Because I'm planning to do a video on it specifically, right? About reasons to grow sunflower or uses for it, right? But I'm like, when I start to think about it like that, it starts to make sense why, you know, why I'm growing it, right? And if things don't turn out, it's not so bad, right? I mean, that's a sunflower. Obviously, tomatoes, yeah, no one grows for the foliage. You only have that to start it, right? To get the photosynthesis started, right, and all that stuff, right? The canopy at the top, right? Obviously, tomatoes. We're growing tomatoes for the fruit. Like, come on, let's face it, right? Yeah, that's it. Oh, there's much more than that, Billy. Much more, much more than even that. I've learned things. I picked up a few things that you wouldn't even, you probably didn't even think of. Yeah, because I was just like applying it. I was just like, there's certain little things. I mean, I'll try to show more of it as because I actually this year, I was considering on doing the video for this year, but I just didn't want to like a talking head or whatever, right? I wanted some examples or at least some B roll of me actually doing it or at least showing it, right? That way, and besides, I already have a lot of videos for this year, anyways, calendar year. So I'm like, I can wait a little bit. That way, the production value is a little bit better, right? It's not just a talking head or here's a list, right? Right? It'll still be a list, but while I'm saying the list, there would be some visuals or some examples I'm showing from this year, previous years, or whatever, right? Because there's some things I actually have to show it, right? I don't want to just say it. I want to show you guys an example of it or me actually doing it, right? Because I've tried some of it and I'm like, yeah, some of it's like, last ditch or whatever and situational or it depends where you are in the world, whatever. But, there's potential for something like a sunflower. Because I've been trying it out. I've been trying it out. They say this, they say that. Well, I'm going to try it out. I'm starting to understand it a little bit better, And not just like, and seeing this whole life cycle of it and seeing the whole plant as a whole, right? The potential as a whole, right? I'm specifically talking about the sunflower right now, right? And what it can do, right? And going beyond just the seed part of it, right? A little bit more in terms of functionality or like what you can get out of it. Like everyone knows, it's common knowledge. I guess, right? Sunflower seeds, blah blah blah, right? But there's are reasons that you might want to grow one, or potential in the resource, right? Yeah. Even more than that, Billy. Even more what you're saying. there, I do have one thing that I tried out. Well, let's just say when I tried it out, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. It was like when I explained it to people, they're like, "Oh yeah," because they realized when I show people, right, or explain it to them, anyways, right. I'll have to try it again. I need some more B roll to roll in for that video. Because I don't have that much right now. I'm like, I need to record. Actually, that reminds me. Probably over the weekend, well, and after I come back on this very short trip, over the week. I'll probably record more of this B-roll and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit more. I have no idea how long the video is gonna be. It's like, wow, it's multiple reasons, right? We'll see. I mean, I'll try to squeeze it into, I don't know, 7 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. Something along the lines of that. Like, I'm actually still thinking about, like, how I'm gonna, like, bring it together. Although, while I'm visiting someone or whatever at their place and doing these other activities over the weekend, I'll probably be thinking about, like, what, you know, while I'm doing gardening stuff, I'll be thinking about, like, the sunflower video. I'm like, how can I bring this together, right? And I'm not talking about the video I'll post later this year. I'm talking about, like, something different, right? Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean, Billy. Yeah, that's why I'm just like, been thinking more about it. I mean, there might be something else too. I've been thinking about it too, so I don't know. It just depends. Like, it might be one of those things like my intro would be like, I never knew the versatility of a sunflower. And you will too. And I don't know, I could even say like that, right? Right? Something like that, right? That sums it up like quite quickly in the beginning, right? For me, as a hook, it was something like that, right? Then get into something, right? Something along the lines of that. I don't even know what kind of title or thumbnail or whatever I want to pull in together with this. Because I might actually need some pictures or some video to use for the content creation part of the video itself, right? You know. And I wanted it like kind of like not per se professional, but like a little bit more brought together, organized together, right? So, because I know there's like videos out there of people talking about it, right? Or showing something, and I'm like, yeah, I think I want to show it, and I will show something even different, something I've been considering, some other things too, right? Because I've tried most of them now, most of these sunflower type of things. Like I said, most of these. Yeah. It's only me. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, that's why you have a storyboard and you have notes off cam, yeah. I mean, yeah, sometimes it depends. Sometimes I'll do a voiceover just because it's like, it's just easier if I'm reading it off, right? But it just depends. I've been working with some of the apps on it at times. I've been working on. I've actually been using this new one since like June. It's new to me anyways, right? It is technically free to use. Like there's a premium service package or whatever of it, but there's no watermark. Well, you can watch an ad to remove the watermark at the end, right? But at the moment, it still has some powerful features that are still free, right? See, there is this app I used to use where, I mean, this wasn't supposed to be a content creation type of stream, but like some of the features became only premium only, right? And there's still a watermark. They added it in, right? Very popular. A lot of people use it. I know when people use it because I can see the watermark on the screen, right? It's not a deal breaker in terms of the watermark, but some of their features I'm like, I enjoyed using it, and now it's on premium only, right? I mean, this new one is not quite on par with that, what I used to use, but it's pretty good. Especially for certain little things that I like to use, whatever. That I need to actually use. Specifically, like, with sound. Stuff like that. So I could actually have, like, good sound, good audio in the video. Or at least decently enough, right? where you can actually hear what I'm saying and it doesn't sound like, what is CR doing? I don't know why he's whispering, right? Right? Where I can bring up the audio level or whatever, clean it up or whatever, right? I mean, I've been trying out something else too. Yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Like some B-roll where I'm like, oh, I should have kept it rolling a little bit more. I need that extra second in there, or two, or whatever, right, to fill it in. Yeah, yeah, I got it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I will show you. Hey. Well, if you're staying tuned right now, if you're watching on this replay randomly, wow. You're awesome because you've been watching a replay for like the last 90 minutes. Yeah. Let's just say here. No. Sorry. Swore my stream light off. Look. He wants to say hi. He wants to say hi. Look. Hey, Bobby. I didn't think you would be up so late. I know you posted a video. I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, see? I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is, huh? You guys just saw a sneak peek there. Alright? So keep that in mind when you see another video later this year. Preferably especially if I record it. And actually post it for this year. How's it going, man? Bobby lives out even more out west than I do. Yeah. I appreciate that, Ken. I knew you'd still be hanging around. Yeah. Now remember, this is just a spare. You know, this is not the main source, right? Obviously, I have bigger ones, right? They're the main source, right? Like if I had to restrict the water, then the one you just saw would have to be cut right away. It's just because the container gardening, I find like I have to water more frequently, right? Too, right? Like I don't actually know if I actually go for more water for the containers. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to see. Because it doesn't have a buffer zone like if it's in the ground, right? Like it doesn't matter how big the container is. There's still there's no enough output limit on how much water you can put into it, right? Or how well the roots can grow, or how deep they can grow, right? There's a limit because you have a container. It doesn't matter if it's a cup or a gallon or 10-gallon or a bucket, or even if you want to grow in like a 55-gallon drum, right? There's still an upper limit for it, right? Versus where on open ground or open bed, well, it's got room to spread out, right? Really, Bob? That's so awesome. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Well, it's not just that, right? And you just, like, I guess, when you're, like, I've actually already had, like literally, like, the freshest tomato soup, like, ever. Like, literally, like, off the vine, off the bush. Like, literally, like, and I put some stuff together, right? I do have a video out next month where you will see that, by the way. You will see that. Oh, did I just say that? Yeah, you'll have to wait for the video, though. You'll know. You'll know when you see the thumbnail or the title. Yeah, that's the one he was talking about in that stream. Yeah, because I decided to add that in. I actually shot the video like last Friday for it. It'll be out next month. Because I still have today's video and next week's video, so I had to show them first. Especially today's video that I shot, right? I mean that I have out. I had to show that right away because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to show that in September, October. It probably won't be so great. No, no, I did, man. You'll see it. You'll see it. You'll see it, Billy. Remember when I showed earlier? Well, you'll realize when you start seeing it. I was even thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, that actually chimes in right where I showed earlier. Not what I just showed, but earlier during this live stream. You'll see it again. You'll see it again. I'll just say that. You'll notice it. That's why. And remember what I just showed you in a live, and you're gonna see something later that shows a very similar thing, but a month later. Remember that. Same time of year, or same month, or more or less the same week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been able to. Like I said, I don't have that many tomatoes overall in terms of quantity. Right, the quality's pretty good. Right, on par or whatever, but the quantity is not as much. I mean, it's still better than none. I could still make something out of it, get something out of it, right? But it's not quite like this area that I had. So I think I might go back to certain tomato varieties instead. I don't know, this one variety, it just sucks. Like, no word of why am I, like, it's just like, literally there's nothing there, right? And I feel like I just wasted the water, right? I mean, luckily it was rainwater, it was like, whatever, but, because obviously plants take water, right? But imagine if you were using, like, whatever, right? Like, irrigation or whatever, right? Paying for the water or, like, moving the water with power, electricity in or whatever, right? You gotta remember, you need water for those plants, right? I mean, like, if you got a cistern or whatever, it's one thing. If you got plenty of water to supply it or a pond or whatever, it's one thing. But if you're pumping it, the power it takes, right? Even if you're using, like, water on the grid, right? There's a thing called a water bill, in certain areas, right? Where you could, people tell me, and it's like, oh yeah, it's here, you know, because they're trying to water plants, right? So, something like that. So, yeah, I keep that in mind. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, so that's like I said, this plant was just a spare one, just for fun. Now I do have something else that is actually doing something for me though. Another container. I've decided to try that out. Like, I've had garden beds and whatever in ground for a while, right? But I'm like, I felt like, maybe I need to explore into this container gardening, right? As some people say, it's mobile plants or mobile fruit or whatever, right? Because it's in a container, right? But obviously, I gotta water it more frequently, right? Especially some of these that are like the container's not that big, so there's only so much water I can put into it, right? And honestly, I don't want to totally drain it, as in, well, not drain it, but heavily saturate it, right? Because obviously, some plants, right, don't like to have their feet wet all the time, right? They need some airflow within the roots too, right? And stuff like that. And I guess also the microbes that aerobic ones that need air, right? And stuff like that. And we all like to have, right? Hence, like something like compost, right? You turn it all the time and you keep it wet, right? And stuff like that, right? To promote the beneficial microbes, right? So it doesn't stink and all that stuff, right? So I'm just like, yeah, I gotta make sure, because there's been times where it's been pouring outside and I've left them outside. The containers seems really heavy and it's totally saturated. I actually have to like pour out some of the excess water just because I'm like, I just have a feeling it's too much water, right? It's too much water for the surface area or the volume of the container, in my opinion. Uh, oh, okay, I'll keep going. Okay, cool. Yeah, so something I've been working on. Oh, I do have a special shorts out. I gotta remember when I'm posting it. I I think I have it scheduled for next month. Pretty sure. I'll have to double check. I think I do have it scheduled for next month. Right. When you see it, remember what you just wrote, Billy. Remember that. Yeah, you'll see this. Because originally I was gonna post it as a normal long form content video, but I decided to make it into a very entertaining shorts. It just, you know, just to, you know, spin it up a bit. Because I needed some of this content. I was like I said, I'm like, well, I don't need more long form content, and I don't know where to put it. I'm like, I could use some more shorts or some short form content, right? I'm like, well, okay, let's put it right here, right? And basically, I just swung it together, recorded some B roll on top, and when you see it, you'll notice. You'll notice it. You'll notice it. Right. It's quite fun to do, just for fun, right? Kind of mix it in together. A little bit of entertainment, education, or entercation, as I told someone else the other day. Or a combination of two words, right? So when you see it, you'll notice it, right? And it wouldn't be the first time for me. When you see it, you'll know. You'll be like, yeah, CR did that. Yeah, you can tell. All right. Oh, you don't need per se the voice per se, right? It could just be someone saying something, right? You know, a lot of my shorts at times are like they're more on the creative side for me. Like they're not. Sometimes they can be serious to a certain degree, but usually it's just a way to like interact with you guys or get some content out there, or as a content creator, or get some gardening things out there, or some winter stuff out there, or anything like that, right? Like my shorts are usually not quite serious, right? And I've been trying to keep them short, obviously, right, as much as possible, right? Because I know the thing about the shorts, especially the short form content, right? It's easy to swipe away or scroll down or up, right? So I'm like, yeah, I gotta make sure they're short, relatively speaking, right? that means I'm saying something right away. There's no a lot of blanks, stares, and all that stuff, right? We're like literally right to the point. Like I'm like almost like like not screaming it out, but like I'm talking faster than I usually would. Like I'm trying to squeeze into something into like 30 seconds, 15, 30 seconds or whatever. I'm like I'm trying to squeeze in so much in there, right? So there's a lot of value into it. It's not as like kind of like gradual as my long form content. It's just like I'm keeping it short and sweet, right? Right to the point, like literally. Because generally, in my opinion, from what I've seen in my results, that generally for me when they're faster for me or to the point where I'm saying a lot of things or showing a lot of things, they tend to do better overall. They tend to, anyways, right? I mean, there's sometimes I'll just shoot the shorts just for the hell of it, but like a lot of the time I'm like sticking to this formula. I'm like, yeah, short, sweet, to the point, blah blah blah. Right? I've actually wrote this down. I have a little notebook that I write down ideas. Or my shorts section says, yeah, short, sweet, to the point. And sometimes I'll I'll like play on words, right? You'll see that a lot, right? In a way to like show something indirectly that's like gardening or preparedness related, but in a fun way. But yeah, when you see it, it's just like, yeah, I'm trying to bring it together. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, you know when you see it, it's just like, yeah, he showed this, but I made it fun too, if that makes any sense, right? And to show something else, right? That'd probably be boring if I just showed it as a normal video, right? I'm just like, yeah, I'll make it a little bit more entertaining for this. You don't know how to shoot them, Billy? You've never done a video shorter than 1 minute, 1 minute and a half. I see. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, remember, it's just vertical for the most part, as far as I know. I mean, I think they've increased the time limit or whatever, right? It's still fun. Like, I know the musical thing is possible for it, right? I've been, or soundtrack, whatever, right? You can use, right? From the list. I've been playing around with that every so often, just to add in something, right? I mean, that's a little bit, well, it's actually slightly more advanced for editing purposes, but, like, I've made shorts even without music. Sometimes it's just me saying something real quick, something I noticed, right, on my travels, right? And then I'm just like, I could actually just put this in. It'll be kind of truthful, but it'll be kind of punful and kind of funny too. Because at times when I'm shooting those or recording those or even editing and uploading, I'm like, the content, the words just write themselves, right? The title almost writes itself, right? And it makes them really easy shorts that I can make, right? So I have some other content out there, right? And stuff like that. Just like in long form content, I love it when the videos just drop in my lap. Like, literally, the content just writes itself to a certain degree, right? Like, either the video writes itself, the title eventually writes itself, the thumbnail writes itself, like, even the description or the hashtags or the tag words I'm using, like, it just writes itself, right? Because it's just like, yeah, this makes sense, right? I don't even have to think so much about it, right? While some of these other things I do, like DIYs, I'm like, what am I gonna use, right? Like, cause I'm searching this on like the YouTube sites to see, okay, if I was to search for this, what words would I use, right? DIY, okay, yeah, okay, but besides that, I'm like, what are things are other people doing or whatever, right? You know. So I always keep that in mind. No, well, what's funny, Billy? This year you didn't actually see me planting the tomatoes. I didn't actually show it this year. Like, trust me, I do have them. I just wasn't on the list. And I already had videos for the channel, right? You know? So I might make an appearance on the back end of the season for me. Well, actually, I'm planning on it. Because there's actually at least 2 videos I need to shoot. I don't know when I'm going to post them. Wow. I don't know. There may be a bonus video in September. Or they'll have to wait till October. One of the two. Yeah. Because next Friday's video, or the 29th of August, yeah. Pretty much the next 5 videos I have scheduled are pretty much set in stone on the channel. Because, like, I think they would be ideally at those times. I like time of month, right? Seasonal things and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah. What did Johnny say? And you're filming and we see the seeds being planted. I'm sure she put a billion seeds into it. Yeah, probably, right? Yeah. Oh, I'll put it one in, right? But secretly, like, while it's paused or, like, I had all this, like, B-roll and hour of footage of me, like, oh, here's another one, right? Because, like, sometimes I've shown, like, I'm planting one sunflower. Like, even this year, I've shown this year and the previous year or whatever, one sunflower, right? Yeah, remember, I'm doing more than one. Usually there's more than one plant, right? I'm just like, I just don't have the time to set up the camera all the way to show every last sunflower I'm growing or every last tomato I'm growing at times, right? It depends if I'm batching it all at the same time or doing it at the same time, maybe, but it's because, like, I have this one stand that's, like, has a heavy base and a flexible arm head, right? Which I can attach my stand, phone adapter or whatever, right? So I don't mind using that because I can get some good angles on that, right, and stuff like that, and just sit it on a board or the cement or the ground, right? So I'm like, and I don't have much height on it. So like I like using it for when I'm like really close to the ground or whatever, right? Or certain angles, right? I've used it inside too, so. Yeah, you need a tripod that's well, you need a tripod that's heavy enough to handle the weight of your device. Doesn't matter if it's doesn't matter if it's a digital type of camera or a phone, or even a tablet, right? It's gonna be able to hold it, especially if there's wind, right? Because especially for like those that do like, I know I've done these kind of, like you would see it in like shows where, if you think about like Survivor Man with Les Stroud, right? He does this where he puts the camera down with a tripod and he's walking away from it to simulate something, walking with him or whatever. Right? You're gonna remember, even for him, he had to come back and pick up the camera, right? All right. In post production, they edit all that stuff out of picking back up the camera, right? I've shown stuff like that before too, right? But you gotta remember, if you're walking away from the camera, you don't want the camera randomly tipping over or from the wind or whatever, right? Because that's the last thing you want, right? you know, that's probably the last thing you want, right? So, I mean, yeah, you could weigh down the tripod, the end of it, the bottom of it, right? So it's kind of more bottom heavy, right? Let's say with a backpack or whatever, right? Something along the lines of that, or a rock, or like something along the lines of that. I know people have done that, especially if it's more windy out or whatever, or it's maybe not so stable as, whatever, right? So something I keep in mind. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that. Well, not run back, but I got to walk back, right? And the thing is, I I still have that extra footage, right? I mean, yeah, unless you get a remote or whatever to remotely turn it on and off or whatever, right? But I also have to check the footage. Like, am I in view? So I'm always using only half the footage, right? I'm only using the footage I'm walking away with or walking towards the camera or whatever. I mean, I've shown a couple of those in the past, right? Those take a little bit more time for me to set up. But they're usually more kind of, they flow better. Because I can show walking right from the left to the right of the screen, then you see me on the left side, walking this way or whatever, right? It's like walking through a door, and then you automatically see me on the other side already, kind of deal, right? You know, I mean, I've done something with editing. Yeah, actually, even with a sunflower, I actually remember this one year where I actually used that. Right, I simulated that. Or I wasn't really walking through a door, but I kind of used it like a green screen on the backside. And I just, I added in something that looked like a door frame, right? And then the other side looks darker, like I'm like in the shadow, like inside, right? Where the left side looks brighter, but the other side looks darker because I'm like simulating I'm walking inside, right? I'm actually walking with the sunflower, right? Where, because originally when I was showing that, I'm like, okay, let's go inside now. With the sunflower, right? Just to, because I wanted to see that in camera, and I'm like, oh, I need something to show while I'm doing that, right? Some B-roll. I'm like, yeah, so I put that in. That's kind of interesting when I did that. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. You want to travel with me? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that too, right? I mean, I've seen some more or less. Well, I'll say there's gimbals and all this stuff. Now, a gimbal wouldn't be so bad if fucking, that would be so good. That'd be nice on someone like walks. I'd be able to pull that off a little bit more stably, more stable, anyways, right? Although there is actually one thing I need to actually like see, and I've more or less talked about this before, but some of the walks I do, right? Not during the spring, summer, and fall, right? It's actually the when it's colder out and during the winter time, right? It's not that I don't walk outside during the winter or whatever. It's actually harder to record it. It is physically harder. I mean, like I've heard people using like heat packs or whatever, or instant hot hands or whatever, right? I may consider, but the thing is, I'm always if I'm recording a lot, right? That's a lot to go through, right? And maybe I'll try something reusable or whatever, but it's because if I'm doing these walking away sequences in the winter, yeah, my phone's gonna get cold real fast. My battery's gonna drop real fast on it. I mean, like even just below freezing. Right? I can imagine trying to do that when it's like -22 Fahrenheit, -30 Celsius out, right? Yeah, like even like on the shows like uh on some of those shows, right? They have multiple cameras. Sometimes the batteries are so cold they won't even turn on. They're gonna be warmed up, right? Stuff like that. So I have no problems in wanting to go out in it. I can drift normally enough. It's more like the camera to show parts of it, right? That's why even earlier this year, right, when I was showing another Burr, it's cold outside or whatever, right? Where I'm showing like being outside in like minus like 15 Fahrenheit, -27 Celsius, right? That's why a lot of those clips are so short because I had to make sure I had to warm back up the device back up, right? So I kept it really short, right? To the point no tripod because like the windshield and all that stuff, right? And like yeah, so like I want to shoot more than that stuff sometimes. Sometimes it's difficult. Like even when I shot this other video like last 2024, early 2024, I'm like, you know, I had a full charge when I started it, 90%. Literally by the time I got back, I was at 4%. like I barely even had enough, right? And these were just short clips. I don't mind warming back up my phone all the time, keeping underneath my jacket, warming it back up, right? Because I'm like, because the cold just zaps the battery right out. And next thing you know, you're like, from like 60 to like 10%, right? In the course of like 10 minutes, it seems like, just because the phone, your battery's just getting that cold. So, yeah. Yeah, if it's not that, yeah, it's the overheating kind of thing too, right? I mean, overheating I can deal with a little bit better because I have options for that. I think it's actually the cold that I have more issues with, so I need to start planning for that. Or at least, maybe I can create something. I don't know. And I'll have to try it out. But I would like to show more of it at times, but it's just like, that's like sometimes a lot of the winter stuff is like inside, right? It's not that I have problems of shooting the video or being outside. It's more like shooting the content itself to show you, you know? Because, stuff like that. Yeah, I know what time it is. Yeah, that's why I was just like, well, Billy, if you have problems with your phone, right, grab a spray bottle, wet your hands slightly with the spray bottle, and just put some water on the back of your phone. Not that much. I did this when I was doing these Sears, what I named it, afternoon time with me in the heat, right? Right? Because I've had my phone overheat too. And I started to use the spray bottle, wet my hand, and just put a little bit of water on the back. Obviously not touching directly like your charging port or over your camera. It's because the water will pull the heat away faster, right? If you think about it, right? It'll pull the heat right out, right? Especially if, and stuff like that. It'll cool. I've tried it a couple times now, right? Like it doesn't take that much, right? Although you may have to redo it every so often, but yeah, that's what I started to do. But that works in the summer. I still need something for the winter though. right? I mean, I've used cement because the cement's colder, right, to conduct the heat away, right, and stuff like that. But I didn't mind the water. It's very little water. Like I just missed my hand and just put my hand on the back of the device, right? Kind of tricky if you have it on a stand or a selfie stick, but I mean, like if your phone's overheating and you got to do something, right? Because you are trying to record, right? You're trying to create this as content. It could be a live stream, right? You know, just to keep it going, right? Especially if you're live streaming or whatever, right? It's very easy for these type of devices now to like overheat or be too cold, right? That's why, like the fall time and the springtime, right? It's really easy for me to record the content because it's like it's not too hot out, it's not too cold. I can record for long periods of time, providing I have charge and like I can keep it up, right? Oh, do you? Yeah, I see. Yeah, yeah. That's why I was just like, I mean, at times like I have like so much extra footage, right? Like I'm rolling into the footage, right? Some rolling footage, right? To start in or whatever, right? Like you don't see me grabbing the tripod, you don't see me moving it, that kind of thing, or you know, after I press record and half a second of me not saying anything, you don't hear that thing too, right? So sometimes there's a lot of like extra like footage that just kind of like is miscellaneous. I don't need throughout the video, right? Just because it's just like, well, I don't need to add in that like half a second I didn't say something in the beginning. I don't know why I was kind of in the tripod or whatever, or turning my camera or whatever, facing it into the sky or whatever, in the scenery or whatever, into the tree or a bush or whatever, right? Yeah. No, I mean, you know, I've been trying to like at times like standardize the editing. I mean, yeah, it depends what you're recording or whatever, right? And the content that anyone records, right? You know, Gardner, the preparedness channels out there, the bushcrafting channels, the gaming channels, blah, 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 right? Or if you want to be influenced to buy or to not buy something or whatever, right? Entertainment sakes, right? So, I mean, I've done videos where like in one take, but like it depends. It depends what I'm showing. It depends what I'm doing or how much of it, or you know, if I want to show that I didn't cut certain scenes out, right? Like even next month, you'll see this one video where I do very minimal type of cuts in there. Like yeah, I do edit the content, but pretty much it's just like I'm trying to show it in one take. So when you see it, you'll be like, yeah. So I'm not. I want to show you guys. I'm not deceiving you guys in terms of, oh, like here's this quick edit and I substituted in something, right? Like I don't want to be like that. I'm like so like when you hear it, I'll be like, I originally said I'm not gonna edit this too much or cut away from this, but there is one cut, but you'll see a lot of footage that's like kind of continuous for a while, right? So I was just like, yeah, okay, I've shown much of the continuous content, you know. You'll have to take my word for it that I didn't swap out something for whatever, right? That kind of thing where I'm substituting in, right? Because I can do it. I don't want to because I want to show you guys that I'm legitimately doing it, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, maybe I could show you a few things. I've done it for a while, you know. I know a little bit about it, just like I know a little bit about gardening, you know, stuff like that. A little bit this, a little bit that, right? You know, maybe I'll transition into it. I did do a video before 2020. I'm pretty sure it was 2020. Yeah, 2024, where I showed some of the stuff, right? What I've used, right? Now, some of those apps I'm still using, although one of them I'm not using anymore. And I'm using a new one right now. Well, new to me anyways, right? And some other ones, and Well, then there's some other ones that I'm like, yeah, still sort of more or less using, right? Just because I like either the features or like the ease of doing certain little things, or it's like it's just easier to make a certain type of video, like, because there's certain little features that I like in it. Like there's a built-in on-screen grid, so I can actually tell where I'm putting things, right? So the next scene, I'm like trying to line it up so it's like still in the middle kind of deal, right? So your focus is still in the middle, or off to the right, or off to the left, or whatever, down the bottom, whatever it is, that kind of thing, right? Which I kind of wish our apps would have that feature, like this grid, right? Like even with like I've used digital cameras before in the past too, right? Even some of them would have you can actually in the settings put the grid on, right? So you can line it up that kind of X and O's kind of pattern, like that 9 grid, right? 3x3, right? So you can put your focus in the center. Like if you're taking pictures of people or whatever, or scenery, like you would have that in the middle, right? Or whatever, and try to maintain that. Because actually, one, like, I can't show you on the device because I'm using it right now. Like last year and the year before, right? The sunflower videos I showed, right, and basically it's a time lapse with pictures, right? I always had to make sure the sunflower head was in the middle. That way, I'm always kind of like. So the only thing changing is that in the video, right? It made it easy. I always start to do that. I'm like, yeah, because it actually helps you line it up so you can actually center certain things or have focus on certain little things, like a sunflower, for example. Could be a person if you're doing that kind of blog, entertainment, blah, blah, blah type of style of videos. What's that? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, some people can do it. Once someone goes for talking to the road trip, 9% of the time it's 45 out. Yeah, yeah. Usually that's improv to winging it, right? And stuff like that. Or they're in the parking lot or something like that, waiting for someone or whatever, right? About to go into work or picking up someone out or whatever, right? Well, time lapse. See, the thing about time lapse is like you generally need a tripod, right? Because you can't be moving during a time lapse or else it ruins the effect, right? And you actually have to let your device, phone, or whatever, run throughout that whole time. And usually the display has to be on too, right? Like usually if I'm doing a time lapse, I'll try to just dim down my display because the thing is the display has to be on the whole time, right? Like you don't need Wi-Fi on or whatever or data to record it, but your device has to be on, right? Right? It's not like, and usually the time lapses are like long, right? Especially if you want to get like a nice full time lapse, right? So sometimes you might have to make sure your battery's fully charged on the device. Maybe a battery bank if you want to go that route too, right? You know, I've had time lapses where it's just an hour and I'm like, yeah, and my battery goes down like 15-20% just because it's running the whole time in the display, right? But that's why I'll turn Wi-Fi off, turn Bluetooth off, dim down my display, right? So I can actually like keep it going for a bit without actually having to plug it in or have a battery bank attached, right? And stuff like that. I mean, I've done time lapses of the sky and stuff like that. Sometimes they're only about an hour long, right? I mean, you only see like 30 seconds, but that's like an hour, right? That's because it's time lapse, right? So you'd be like, clouds are just going by and the sun's just like rising, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll try to do another one again. You would need. Oh, I see. I moved the trauma. You have to cement that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, generally speaking, yeah. Your display, right? Because it's actually actively running, right? I mean, obviously, you're streaming, you need Wi-Fi, or you need Wi-Fi or data to transfer, right? Okay. Usually, if you're not using Bluetooth, like, I'll turn it off, right? Stuff like that. And of course, you could set up manual focus or autofocus for that kind of stuff too, right? and make sure that your tripod, wherever you're setting it on to do the time lapse, won't move. Because if it moves a little bit, it ruins the effect, right? Because ideally you want stationary, your phone or whatever, right? And the only thing moving is like the sky, the sun, right? And you get this kind of nice effect of it, right? You know, because if your phone or device is actually moving, it just ruins the effect. It's not the same anyways. Especially something like the sky. Yeah. Bring a big power bank. Yeah, top off your phone before starting it. Like, if you're gonna really do that, and you're gonna do that for hours and hours or whatever, yeah, you might as well just top it off at that high 90% mark, 95%. Maybe bring a battery bank if you want to, right? You have to see. Depends how much power your device uses and how long you're going for, right? Like I said, because your display has to be on the whole time. right? And it's not like a 10-minute video, right? You can do the 10-minute video and record it all and you'll be done, right? You turn on your display, do the editing, right? By the time lapse, your device, like a phone or whatever, your display's on, and you're doing it for hours at times, like much longer than like just recording a standard video, like 10-15 minute video, right? This is like, the footage isn't that long or isn't that big for file size, but like you need to have your device on and it's actively doing it, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, or something like that. I mean, yeah, if you can tether it to like an outlet or a power bank, yeah, you'll be good, right? And you can even have the brightness a little bit higher if you want, just so you can make sure it's like, is it in view? Please tell me it's not being in focus, right? And stuff like that, right? Maybe I'll try to do another one. We'll see. Maybe I'll try to do one over the winter. I don't know. I'll make one just for the hell of it. We'll see. Or use it like B-roll. I mean, I've done the time lapses, right? Even the slow-mo. I've done that before. Even last year, I did 240 frames per second. Well, that's the max I got on this device, but some lightning, right? It's kind of interesting to see that. Because it is actually slow-mo, right? I didn't actually like do post-production to slow it down. There's actually like slow-mo in there. Would you? Really, Billy? You would take filming classes? I mean, I've learned a few things. I'm no expert in it, but I've learned a few tricks of the trade or whatever, right? And keep that in mind, right? As much as possible, Just cause. No, you can, but I've watched some of that stuff too, right? But you gotta remember, at times that sometimes they're talking like, wow, metaphorically speaking, a foreign language or whatever, right? Over your head kind of deal, right? Yeah, yeah. There's certain little things like, like if you don't want shaky camera, a tripod or a gimbal helps, right? Like I seen, I'm not saying it's wrong too, but like I've seen like these like survival kits go back type of videos in the past where like they're holding the phone and recording it, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it per se, but like sometimes you don't get a sense of the, how do I say, the dimensions of the items, right? And sometimes they're putting it down or whatever, and the shakiness too, right? Like I could get by if I have to see that, right? Now sometimes if the audio is too low, I'm like, it's more difficult because I can't hear when I'm here too, right? Especially if someone's explaining something and you can't really hear it, it's like you're missing the message, right? It's just like, and you're turning up the volume all the way, right? I mean, there is one time I actually had to use a Bluetooth speaker to hear a video because it was so low, right? The dialogue, the voice, right? Right? Stuff like that. And I'm always remembering something like if you do add music or effects sound effects on a video, right, make sure it doesn't override the voice too much. I mean, yeah, there's certain situations you might want to, for emphasis or whatever, but generally speaking, like, if there's voices, dialogue, and music, make sure you can still hear the music's not overriding, or the music effects or the sound effects aren't overriding the voice too much. You know, that's one thing I always remember, right? Because even most of these video editors and apps, right, will allow you to adjust the volume. I'd say most, not all of them, of like the music you're using or whatever, right? Because even on the YouTube side, right, you can go into the YouTube studio, where everyone's YouTube studio, right? Everyone has this feature available, right? And there's an audio section for music, right? And yeah, there's certain ones that you have to add attribution or whatever. Some don't, right? But you just download the file and you put it into your video editor, and you add it in, right? Like even next week's video for me, you'll see music in there, right? I don't do much talking in it, right? There's just barely enough, right? But when you'll see that I lowered the volume just a tad on this little part or whatever, just so you can hear my dialogue, what I'm saying, right? But the music's still there. You could just still hear it, right? And then it just fades back up after I talk, right? And then it goes from there, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I do, man. Remember, see, Billy, you haven't seen me, known me long, but I used to show this stuff on a laptop before I had issues with that laptop and the desktop. But like, never actually edited on a phone until like not right now, but you will notice that because I started to bring that in. Right. Like I've shown live streams where I'm editing stuff like live or doing the thumbnail or making something live. I've shown this before where there's digital content out there, my digital creation mode content, right? But since I don't have access to that because basically I don't have the devices to run it, I'm using what I'm using right now to record, right? So, I mean, I'm actually, some of the stuff I've been able to pull off on a phone, I was like, wow. I mean, there's some little things like, and I mean, obviously it depends on the app or whatever, right? But I mean, like, some of these free ones, I'm still being able to pull certain little things off, right? But that's because I have some knowledge behind it, some experience behind it, right? Like, I know not everyone's got that kind of knowledge or experience, right? You know, you know. Everyone's like, you make it look easy, CR. Well, I mean, like, yeah, but I actually had to learn about it too, right? Because sometimes there's a technical, like, certain little things have to be done, right? You know? Stuff like that, yeah. That's a mystery to you. I mean, I learned how to edit on a laptop or a desktop first, right? Just remember a long time ago. I'm talking about like I used to run under a YouTube channel, right? It used to be a gaming channel. I don't have access to it. The channel's still there. The content's still there. I don't have access to it, right? So I can never prove it. I can't edit any, and I can't add to it anymore, right? And I can't reply to comments, and yeah. And I'm not gonna reply to comments on those videos on that gaming channel with this channel, because that'd just be weird. And no one, right? What? But the thing is, like, that was a long time ago, right? Things have changed, right? I mean, like, what I used to use back then for editing, like, it's standard on a phone app now. It's kind of standard, right? And some of the other stuff, like, that you used to be a little bit more or have to pay or premium or whatever for it in the past, they've added it. Or nowadays on the phone, there's certain functions that are like premium service only, right? Because they're more advanced, right? Like noise canceling and stuff like that. So like, if you ever see an app that actually provides it for free, yeah, that's pretty good because usually that kind of stuff is like part of the premium service for those apps, right? because it takes time to process it or whatever, or if it's gotta run it through their servers or whatever, right? Yeah. So yeah, exactly. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, like, it is what it is, right? You know, I mean, if someone's complaining, I'd be like, well, you can help me with it if you want, right? You know, because I would never say anything like that unless I'm done it already or have done it already, right? I'm not gonna complain about the video if I've done it before. You know what I mean? Like, be a hypocrite about that kind of stuff. Like, because I can't stand it at times. I'm just like, well, you know, like, if you make it 10 times better if you did this, right? Yeah, do you do it yourself? You know what I mean? Like, or I have the capability of doing that kind of stuff, right? Like I said, like, this editing kind of stuff, I was just like, for me, I'm like, I'm very technical about it. You realize about that, right? But that's why I've been trying to, like, get out of that technical aspect of it at times. Like, I'm still technical about it. But sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna be a little bit more loose on this one. A little bit more, right? And try to fine tune it a little bit more. Like, even next week's video, you'll see that I actually took a little bit more time. Well, not a lot of time, but actually, next week's video, now that I think about it, you'll see that I actually had to edit that. Because that's not one take. That's definitely not one take. Because I'm using pictures and video combined together, right? But I did it in a certain way. Like, when you see it, it almost looks more like a music video than, like, something like that. Because, like I said, there is audio from the YouTube library on that video and stuff like that, right? And, like, I'm basically, like, going with the beat or going with the music. Like any music video out there that's, like, out there, right? There's always usually the video matches in with the audio or the music, right? So it flows together, right? There's, like, if the change of beat happens, there's a change of scene, for example, or whatever, right? Something along the lines of that. I was just trying to, okay. I mean, like, I actually had to take some time at it. Not that much time. I figured a way to, like, because the thing is, I had to record the video and like, take the pictures in advance anyways, right? Aside from that, the editing, I don't know, maybe like 90 minutes. That's excluding, like, thumbnail and, like, uploading the content after and, getting a finalized video, But in terms of, like, actually doing something in the editor, like, yeah, about 90 minutes, right? But that's because, like, I had to line it up. I kind of, like, okay, do it in a certain way. Based on the footage I had, right? I was just like, okay, I'm going to do this way, right? Try to get a story developed into this somehow, right? It's not even that long of a video, but the thing is, hey, I guess I'll see next week's video's engagement, not engagement, but click-through rate. I'll see my audience retention, and we'll see if it was worth it. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Well, it depends, right? It depends what your content, right? And it's got to match the content to a certain degree. I mean, like, sometimes I'm like, because sometimes the audio library, sometimes it's just like, the music's so short, right? Or it's really, I mean, if it's long, I can shorten it up. But if it's really short, it's harder to extend that out, right? I'm not saying it's not possible. Because people have made, there's videos out there on YouTube where you can see, like, basically a song being repeated or a track or whatever. There's these, like, 10 hour blah 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 or 5 hour or 2 hour, right? When it's just a repetition, they have to find a spot to, like, loop it, right? Right. You have to do that though, right? So, like, I know it's possible, but I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, it's themed. Yeah, that's why I'm always looking. Like even before I did video, next week's video, right? Well, as I was doing it too, I was looking for a soundtrack. I'm like, I need some music in here. And this time, like even if I did do some dialogue or some talking or whatever, I'm like, I know I can't fill in that much talking, and I'm like, I'm gonna start to repeat myself, right? But the music this time around will allow the video to keep flowing forward, right, and stuff like that as much as possible. Because the dialogue to me wasn't as important as the footage. Trust me, when you actually see it, the music will help carry the footage, right? But the footage was actually more important. 'Cause when you see it, you'll be like, yeah, you came there to see them, right? Maybe some narrative or some dialogue might help a bit, and the music just kind of helps it keep going, so you don't hear like, 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 uh, soundless video or whatever, right? You know? Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool, Billy. Yeah, so that's why I'm just like been trying that stuff out, right? You'll notice it. You'll notice it. You'll notice it in the next couple of videos or couple shorts or whatever. You'll notice that. I'm always trying to time it, right? See, that's the technical part, right? Timing, like, if especially if I'm using audio, like, if I'm just talking, like, if I'm doing, like, if I'm clapping, I'm working with the beat, working with the beat, working with the beat, working with the sound as I go along. Hear me out as I clap along. Blah, 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 right? Something like that, right? It's just like, like it's an anything, well, 80s, 90s, whatever, right? All 70s music, right? There's always, especially music, right? If you think about it, right? Music, audio, musical instruments, and if they're singing or dialogue, right? How that all chimes together, right? With the beat of whatever the music is, right? No matter how, whatever it's made from, right? You know, like it could be a piano, right? And stuff like that. It's almost like matching with the soundtrack, and you're singing a cappella or something like that. Yeah. Eh. Well, it does help because because there's one thing I know I've seen it ever so often in comment section, even if I'm going incognito on my account for it, but where people will point that out because it's just like, especially if audio is inconsistent, it's like it's really really loud and then it's really really soft, and it's really really loud and it's really really soft, or the music changes way too much, right? 'Cause sometimes people are wearing headphones, right? Or whatever, right? It's just like, if you're hearing stuff again and suddenly a loud sound comes in your headset or whatever, it's like, you pull your headset away or pull the phone away or whatever, right? And it happens, right? In the real world, but, it's still funny. Because I've seen people leave comments like that, and I'm like, that wasn't that bad. I mean, I'm wearing a headset, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, like, it's not blatantly apparent, right? It's not like, I'm talking really quiet. I'm talking really, really loud. I'm talking really quiet. I'm talking really. Like, it's not quite like so black and white on it, right? There's some gradient on it, right? But I see what you mean. You don't want to. Yeah. I haven't used that app. I know I'm pretty sure I have used it. It's been a very long time. I'm pretty sure. I gotta remember. I thought there was a setting for the volume on that. I mean, there is ways around it, but I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. No, yeah, that's a good way to approach it, Billy. Like, you want to like, if you're hearing it, like, feel like if you're a newcomer, like that. How does it flow, right? Because it's just like a music video, right? Why do people like music videos? Like, if you think about like MTV, but well, we have much music here in Canada, but or whatever, right? And all these other things, right? even before the internet or whatever, right? If you think about it, right, those musics of the past, whatever kind of music, right? Could be punk, could be dance music, could be R&B, could be rap or whatever, right? There's always like a feel for it, right? That feel, right? Even these animated music videos, there's a feel to it. Where the footage that's used, regardless if it's anime, real, done in post production or whatever, right? It suits the audio or the soundtrack or the music or the singing quite well. Like it flows really, really well. It feels like you're really like if it's motivational music, you feel motivated. If it's like, like kind of music that, that tells you not to give up, right? And then you feel it, right? You feel it. It's just like, almost like you're at a concert or whatever, that kind of feel, right? Where the music, the soundtrack, whatever, right? Guitar, piano, whatever. And then the audio or the singing or the acapella or the rap, whatever, you feel it, right? You feel like there's something about that, right? That's why I always trying to think, okay, as a new user, if I came as a new user or someone else that's been on the channel, like, how would I feel about this, right? Does it flow well? I mean, I tried time thing. Sometimes I'm very like very specific. I'm like, I gotta time this half a second better, right? It just feels like it, right? But that's because I'm technical about stuff like that at times. But that's it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah. I got rock and roll. Yeah, for a day film, you used to see. Yeah, I mean, like just something like do 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 do, right? I mean, at times sometimes I'll like just like how rappers or will freestyle it, right? Sometimes I'll be like, I'll just add something in, or I'll just say something. I've actually started to do that, right? It'd be like, oh yeah, here we go. Right? Something like that. I'll be like, I hear this little beat, I'm like, oh, I can add some words randomly and voice over it and just add something in there, right? Right? I mean, sometimes I'll actually like manually like add in a sound effect. I'll be like, there's these pre-made or on some of these apps that have sound effects, right? Like whooshes and stuff like that. But sometimes I'm like, that doesn't go well with what I'm doing on this video, right? So I'm like, I need something that's more, instead of whoosh, I need something like whoosh. And so I'll actually manually, like, almost like voicing it over a sound effect. I'll do it like that, right? And I'll just slightly edit that so it's kind of sounds like more like I want it to, right? Versus something that's pre-made or already been developed, right? I need something a little bit more fine-tuned. Yeah. Yeah, I got you, man. It's all good. I think I'm only gonna go till like the bottom of the hour. Yeah, 15 more minutes. I'm not gonna go that much longer. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. That's what I keep in mind. Like I said. I know, maybe I'll do another video over the winter about it again. I think it'll be one of my filler videos for the year. As much as possible. Yeah. I'm gonna want something out. But yeah. And I gotta put my plant back. You can bring my plant back outside. I should remember to put it back out here. I'm gonna bring it back outside because I brought it in here. I'm gonna make sure I put it back. Oh, and I gotta pick up this cordage. So it's not over the ground. It's like, hey, CR, why do you have that on the ground? Oh yeah, because I was doing a live stream and I forgot it. I left it on the ground. I actually had to pick this up. I don't know if I've shown this cordage. Actually, no. Maybe I'll make an appearance randomly in another video. We'll see how it all turns out. But yeah. And I gotta remember, like, it is Saturday. Mr. Shadowshot Sweden, thank you, hi. Go out. That's what everyone says. Oh, I need. It's kind of clickbaity. I guess this is that terminology, like, that's always like, as a content creator or someone that makes videos, right? You know what that means, right? Everyone else, all right, what's that mean, right? Because if you're not a content creator, you wouldn't know the terminology, right? So that's why I just like, yeah, I could use something a little bit more clickbaity or whatever. I mean, like, sometimes I'll use it like a pun. I know. Like, I'm actually surprised my B video did so well that early. And, you know, and the thing is, yeah, I put a little bit of effort into it, but it was like I said in that video, like, I just happened to finish doing something and I just noticed it, right? So, and I just shot some content, right? Didn't even use a tripod, really. Handheld, right? You know, and stuff like that. I'm actually surprised how well that went. You know, people might be like, maybe it's that title or thumbnail, right? I mean, like, really, I didn't really put that much effort into it, right? The thumbnail, I mean, title was kind of self-explanatory. Even the thumbnail, I mean, like, that's okay. Really, I just took an app that can change something that make it a little more artistic or illustrated, right? You know, that's about it, right? Like, literally, I'm taking a real-life image of it and changing it so it's more illustrated. I mean, and add some text. That's it, right? Because, like, literally, like, that's probably, like, one of my better videos for the season, for the year. Like, literally, I was still getting new views on it by the time the next video came back out the following week, which would have been last week's video. So, that's how I know. And my YouTube... And it says on my analytics that YouTube suggested it more, so that's probably a good sign, right? But not every video can always be that nice, right? So there's every so often there's a filler video, right? Yeah. What's that word? He switched from owing his life to just talking game. Now. Just means he made it and burnt out, yeah. No, that's the thing. St. Even Furnace is, alright, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? You know? You still gotta be able to maintain it. Like, even if you're getting monetization or whatever now, or whatever, right? You still gotta maintain it, right? Getting there is one thing, or whatever, but you still have to maintain it, right? The last 12 calendar months, or 365 days, right? You know, it's just the way it is. That's why the number changes, like, literally week to week or day to day, right? And it's like, let's see, today's August 22nd, 23rd, whatever, right? Anything you did, like, 365 days a year, days or more ago, doesn't count on the last, for watch time, right? WT after, right? So, you gotta keep maintaining content. Because if you're monetized and you don't put out content, generally your watch time will fall. Generally speaking, right? You know, you gotta remember that, right? You know, I know some people don't like, this or that, but, a little bit of money in is still a little bit of money in, right? You know, for what it is, right? I know people have their principles, but, because if you start, like, not posting, you probably won't, alright? Especially if you want to get the monetization back in. I mean, there's other ways, but, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Where am I at? Yeah. 10 minutes. Bottom of an hour. Already named it. Bottom of an hour. I wasn't even supposed to be going this long. The only reason I'm going long is because Billy's here. Like literally, if Billy wasn't there, I would have like left like an hour ago. He's the only reason that I'm still alive. He didn't twist my arm or anything like that. It's because he's engaging. He's still typing. I think if no one was typing, then I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll call it a night. Right now I'm like, no, he's still there. He's still there. My mind left a long time ago. Yeah, see, he's just writing somewhere now. I don't even know what I'm writing. Alright. He's showing some engagement, so that's why I appreciate it. Ah, shit. Did I actually? No, I did. I just can't see it. your channel name's so long that I'm like, I thought I added you as a channel moderator, and I'm like, no, I just checked. I was just like, yeah, I already did it. Yeah. No, I don't want to remove as a moderator. Yeah. I just can't see the wrench or whatever or the crescent wrench or spanner on the name. So yeah. Okay, I guess I'm gonna ramble for the last 10 minutes here. Someone was like, third week, like, I don't know what else to say, and I want to go out the tour, Mark, and I told them, like, just talk about sunflowers for the, like, next 30 minutes. Well, they did it for half of that time, so maybe I could just run away. But I already talked about sunflowers for 30 minutes, so I might, yeah, that's probably not gonna fly right now. Spanish, so British. Hey, remember, I actually learned about that because of my international audience, huh? I didn't even know about that. Because it's the terminology, right? I don't use that term here. I mean, I've heard it before, but I think from other people, but I never really used it much. So I just like, yeah, right. It's stuff like that. That's why I just like always remembering stuff like that. It's just like the terminology or even the conversions, right? For you guys in the U.S., it's because ever since I started to do this channel, I had to actually remember them because everyone's always asking. It's like, dude, I don't know what Celsius is. And I'm like, that's blah, blah, blah in Fahrenheit. It's like, thank you. Right? That's why I'm just like, it's not really the math. It's more like the numbers that I keep seeing all the time, right? And stuff like that. So I'm just like, it was just easier just to like, almost just start to remember them, right? Almost like remembering a number or whatever, right? It's just like, because I see them all the time, or I have to refer to it all the time, so it's just like, in time, it just stuck into my head, yeah. Yeah, right? And just keep it going as much as possible. Right? So that's why I was just like, always like, you'll always see me doing it in the chats now, right? It's because I know when I'm looking in the side chat, right? Especially if I'm on a channel or I'd be like, yeah, we got an international audience, right? It just helps everyone. No one has to leave the channel or leave the stream or whatever to check, right? I'll give you an approximation or more or less, right? So you can kind of get a sense of it. It's like, like, here's something like, let's say, like a normal size big lighter, right, for a size comparison, or something as a size comparison, like a pen or whatever, right? It's that kind of thing. That way you kind of get a sense of it without actually having to look it back up and leave the screen or leave the tab or open up something, right? And besides, in time, when you see the numbers or see it long enough, maybe you'll just remember and be like, oh yeah, it's about that, right? It's about that much, it's about this much, it's about this long, it's about that hot, right? I'm actually getting better at it. And the thing is, I never used to, like, really do that when I was young. It's kind of funny how I'm doing it now, right? I think that's one of the benefits of, like having an international audience and like having like some subscribers and followers in the U.S. and having an international audience in my streams or whatever, right? Or if I'm on panel or whatever side chats, right? Because it forces me to actually always remember that the measurements, right, and stuff like that. Right. That's like saying, it's like the Kelvin scale, right? I'm like, don't ask me the Kelvin scale. That it's because I don't use it enough, right? The only reason I've actually been able to do with some of the conversions on the temperature is because I'm using it enough now, right? In time, if you use something long enough, you may start to. Well, it might just start sticking into your mind, or sticking to your head, or a little bit more because you're referring to it more often, right? And I'm actually getting better at it as time goes on, right? Where am I? Because when I have thermometers, like mercury filled thermometers, right? So I actually see that scale anyway. So I see it anyways, right? So you know, might be useful, right? So like when I travel to the U.S. or whatever, or something along the lines of that, I can actually kind of know more or less what it means, right? Okay? Without actually having to like search online for it, right? You know, or the knowledge becomes part of me, right? Without actually having to look it up per se, in terms of conversions, right? Hi, bro. They're just coming into the bro. I don't even know what you're talking about, man. I'm lost, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? Where am I at? Couple more minutes. Couple more minutes for it. I never roll. Dang. I wasn't planning to go this long. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just go an hour, maybe an hour and a half. All right? 3 hours later. And no one, no. And I'm not randomly doing an 8 hour live stream. I haven't done like any stream that's longer than 4 hours for a while. I mean, I don't know. There may be some time in the fall that I might be able to do a longer stream, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to plan it though. It'll probably be on the weekend, not during the week. It'll probably be on a Friday, like this one. Yeah. I get that too. Yeah, I get that too. You know. So no. So on a serious note here, since it's like almost half past, I tried to leave as a good time. Although I may grab a very late night snack. Let's see. Almost thinking about it. So, anyways, I do appreciate everyone that dropped by. And I got to see someone I haven't seen for a while. So, I always appreciate that. It reminds me of certain little things. Once again, it's nice to see them again. And maybe they're still listening. I wonder if they're still listening. Because supposedly I'm supposed to have like 2 people in here, and I know one of them that's talking, so maybe they're still listening. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe they fell asleep. I don't know. Whatever. It's all good. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, if anyone is actually like watching the replay and actually catching this later and actually came to this point, well, you're really that awesome because you just heard me like talk about something for like the last like 2 hours and 47 minutes shy of like 9 seconds. Yeah, no, that's fine. Adds to the WT, right? So all I know is that I gotta put this plant back where I had it. I don't know. Maybe I'll show the setup for it. I don't know. So we have been messing around with. Let's see. So, yep, it's that time. So everyone, take care, and remember, things are changing out there. So we're gonna have to do something about it too, and adapt to it, because it's up to us. All right. We go literally. It's up to us. All right. You know, and go practice those things, the gardening stuff. All right. Practice making something. And that survivalism stuff, yeah, go practice it too, right? Even the editing, right? Go practice it, right? Just like anything out there. Usually you get better at it as you practice or gain more experience in it, right? And try to apply the knowledge and the skills that you're gaining from these things that you're doing to something else whenever possible, right? The knot tying, right? Don't just apply it to like camping. Try to apply it to the real world, day to day, or whatever, right? And when possible, try to help someone out there when possible, right? When it's possible for you, when it's safe to, and when it's, well, you can spare the time, the resources for it, stuff like that. All right, everyone. Take care, and I appreciate you all dropping by. Until next time, take care, everyone. Catch you later. Oh, and sound effect out. And take care.